Xin Chao, what's up, everybody? Alright, so I'm with my bud, Reporter Bear here. Things have drastically taken a turn for the worse in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City. First off, before we get into the news video and the update on all that, of course, I've started the new channel. I know we've heard me say this 100 times, but if you want to see me live stream on there, we got to get to 1,000 subscribers. That would help me to live stream for you. And if you even want to see those live streams, they're only going to be available on that channel. That channel's link is in the description of the video. Also, after watching this video, if you find yourself liking the video, you can leave a up button, or if you didn't like it, you can go with the down button, whichever one makes you happy. Also, if you want to leave a comment, you can. You don't have to. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you don't want to subscribe, you don't have to subscribe. It's all decisions you can make. And if you just hate me and want a thumbs down everything, go for it. It's all good. It's still pieces of the algorithm. So, Ho Chi Minh City shuts down restaurants, homestay services, walking streets. So, we're pretty much back to the first shutdown, like the way it was the first time. I don't really need that. The way it was the first time on the first wave. I can tell you the big differences, though, is people just don't care as much this time. There's fatigue from doing this so many times that the general consensus of people are over it. Like, Hanoi's been in this style of lockdown for a couple weeks, and one of the news places I read, they went to like a bunch of places and just took pictures and pictures and pictures of people completely like flaunting the rules. The same thing will happen here for sure. They went to like some. I'll read that article too, but yeah, it's massive fatigue is set in of having to do this lockdown over and over. People are over it. They just don't want to do it anymore. Look happier, buddy. It's okay. Saigon will suspend restaurants, homestay, Airbnb services, walking streets while limiting public gatherings starting Friday. The Municipal People's Committee announced. The decision was made in light of a new coronavirus outbreak in the southern metropolis associated with the religious mission, which has seen 36 cases since Wednesday. So we'll talk about that next. First, we're going to talk about this. Yeah, it's kind of like a similar thing to South Korea, you know, a whole church being close to each other. I think they met on an alley in Govop. I'll read the article. You can, yeah. Beauty parlors, hair parlors, spas, tourist sites, museums, walking streets, night markets and parks, and outdoor businesses for sports and physical exercise with more than 10 people of gatherings would also be suspended. Saigon is operating 3 walking streets, Huyen Hue, Bui Vien, and Quan Trung in District Tun, which are mostly busy on weekend nights with a wide range of dining and entertainment services. For families who sell food and beverages on the street, only takeaways are allowed. Vendors must wear masks and abide by other coronavirus prevention measures while interacting with customers. So they went around to a bunch of restaurants and like did surprise check-ins, and a lot of them were like completely flaunting the rules. They were way over the 20, 30 people by a large amount. So, restaurants inside hotels can only serve residents. People must be placed 2 meters apart, and there could not be more than 20 people at the same time. All religious activities with 10 people or above in religious institutions are also suspended. People are requested not to go out for non-essential purposes. No large gatherings are allowed outside of offices, schools, hospitals, and people must stay at least 2 meters apart from each other in public. Amid Vietnam's latest coronavirus wave, the southern metropolis has applied a series of coronavirus restrictions to curb the spread of the disease, including shutting down non-essential services like massage parlors, dance clubs, movie theaters, bars, and gyms, which has already been happening for weeks upon weeks since the beginning of May. Saigon has recorded 44 COVID-19 cases so far, in which the 36 latest cases are associated with the coronavirus cluster linked to the Revival Mission, a Christian congregation. The cluster was unearthed Wednesday after 3 of its members went to the Gai Dinh Hospital in Bintan district with respiratory problems. The city recorded a suspected COVID case Thursday evening. A 30-year-old woman in Tan Phu district who tested positive for the novel coronavirus (CCP) after visiting a hospital with respiratory conditions. Initial investigations found she is not linked to the religious mission. Okay. So we've got that out of the way. About 10 minutes ago, they just announced Tan Son Nhat Airport stops receiving foreign arrivals. So the international airport here, no more foreign arrivals. Starting Thursday amid rising coronavirus threats in the southern metropolis. The suspension requested by the National Steering Committee for COVID-19 Prevention and Control and the Municipal People's Committee will last until June 4th, according to the representative from Civil Aviation Authority of Vietnam. The airport will still serve outbound routes. Foreign arrivals have been limited since March last year due to COVID-19. Only Vietnamese citizens stranded overseas, foreign officials, diplomats, experts, investors, and high-skilled workers are allowed in. Passengers must undergo a 21-day mandatory quarantine period, either in centralized camps or other facilities like hotels. Saigon has recorded 44 COVID-19 cases in the ongoing wave, including 36 cases associated with the Christian Mission cluster, which emerged Wednesday after 3 of its members went to the hospital with respiratory problems. The city is dealing with at least 2 more clusters with unknown sources of transmission. It also recorded a suspected case Thursday evening, 30-year-old woman in Tan Phu who tested positive for the virus after visiting a hospital with respiratory conditions. Initial investigations found she is not linked to the religious mission. So I think I think the noodle lady is going to be, like, I'm not blaming anything on her, but I think a lot of cases are not going to be traceable from the noodle shop lady. Like, how popular is her noodle shop? Does she serve 50 people a day? Does she serve 100? How long was she sick for? Money's being handled, food's being handled. Yeah. Let's see. 11 new cases. Okay, we got that one. I'm just skimming through real quick. So those worker areas that I talked about, where the large clusters are, they're vaccinating all those areas. Yeah, there's new procedure on holding the vaccine. Like, supposedly you can just store it at fridge temperatures now for a certain period of time. So that should maybe make things better. A problem that a lot of people didn't understand with Vietnam getting vaccines is they had to build these like deep cold storage units for the vaccines, and we didn't really have many of those, so they were scrambling to build them. So if that's true, it'll be good for us as far as getting it. Again, I'm gonna reiterate. I don't know, I always say it wrong. Somebody's gonna go ham on me in the comment on how to say it, but I'm gonna re-say it again. The problem with them getting the virus is the supply is low, the price is high, because let's face it, there's money in this thing. They're relying on COVAX for, like, the ones we have gotten are through COVAX, which is like, a place that helps you get it. So that's the problem, man, is we're not balling out here like rich, like America and EU and stuff like this, to where we can get front of the line by saying, hey, we'll pay whatever the highest bid is. I don't care. There's rumors that we're going to start making the Sputnik one. I don't know what good that would do. It's like, 50 to 60% effective. I guess that's better than nothing. And if that allows things to open again, sure, I'm fine with it. No problem. Like, this rapidly changed throughout the day, too. Me and my buddy were talking this morning, because we both saw the, shout out, John. We both saw the noodle lady, or not the noodle lady, the church at the same time. And he didn't even need to say it. He knows how I think now, and we both pretty much said it at the same time. We were like, oh, they're going to just close everything down. And this is going to be like a bunch of cases immediately in one day. And he theorized restaurants, and I was like, yeah, I saw, probably. So, yeah, that's the first thing they announced today was takeaway only all restaurants closed, and then all the other stuff suited afterwards. Da Nang is going to vaccinate all the bus, taxi drivers, and resume public transport. 16 districts. So the new COVID cluster linked in Saigon is linked to 16 different districts. I don't see this resulting in any kind of good things. I see this putting back everything by a huge timeline. I'm thinking if you're trying to get here, the expert visa thing is pretty much out now, the bogus expert visa shit. We've talked about the travel visa. I still think it can get extended. I have multiple agencies that are still willing to extend it for people. So YouTubers that are making videos of like, I'm not sure if I'm going to get to stay on my tourist visa that I've been here with for 2 years. You're going to be fine, dudes. Don't worry about it. You'll be able to renew that one. Now there are poking holes in like non-sponsored business visas, and they're checking out expert visas, especially if a company processed a lot of expert visas, like a lot. Yeah. The jig is up on that kind of stuff for now. Do I think that'll last? No, because personally, I don't think Vietnam will ever offer a retirement visa. They would be genius to after this is all said and done. If I was Vietnam, I would do a retirement visa without a question. It would be 100% on the playing field. Let's cut out these visa agents that say it's fine. It's just $1,300, $1,800, $2,000. You're here for 2 years. Let's just get rid of that shit. If someone wants to come here and they want to pay for a retirement visa or an extended long-term visa, I don't know what you want to call it, whatever. Like Thailand calls theirs an elite visa, but it costs way too much money and it's just not worth it. And they have enough loopholes in their own thing to where you can bounce around and do different visas there. But it's a thing that a lot of these countries don't do, but they can make so much more money from bringing the for the most part, expats are pretty good, like even if they're a sexpat like myself, they're still going to spend money here and they're not going to cause like any crime troubles or anything like this. So yeah, they need to change that. Let me just make sure I covered everything. AstraZeneca aims to complete COVID vaccine supply for Vietnam by early 2022. Their timeline's not very great. So, and that's, I think they're saying 170 million, and that's for counting each stab. So what is that? 160, 885. So that's 85 million people. That would technically work to get herd immunity. Let me just double check everything. I'm going through. So yeah, let me finish out my last thought. I think it'll be worse this time around. It already is worse, kind of. I think it's going to be the most explosive. This is just me theorizing now. This isn't news reported. This is just me theorizing that I think this is going to be the worst wave by a large amount. I think it's going to be to a point where it's, not too containable. And people just aren't taking it serious this time. It's like people just don't care as much as they did these first and second time. The third wave, not many people cared. This one, they really don't care. So like, there's all kinds of people out. I was out today and it seemed like a normal day. Like, I walked around Win Way. I actually walked around with no camera today, which is like never happens. But I walked around Win Way and there wasn't a lot of people on Win Way. There really wasn't. The restaurants were dead today too, actually, when I was walking around the mall. But I was there at like 4 p.m. on a Thursday, so I mean, that's kind of to be expected. But yeah, it's as far as it goes, we're exactly almost closely to the first lockdown, minus that they haven't asked you to stay home and work yet, which is going to be the next step. If we see over like 100, 200 cases here rapidly from this religious group and the noodle lady that they can't contact trace, and people are getting more hesitant to go in and get tested here now too, because they don't want to be quarantined for 21 days and then an additional 8. So like there's this lady, and this is we'll end on this article. It's very interesting. This one lady, and hold on, let me find it here. Anyway, she didn't want to get taken out of her house, right? Where's the fuck is that? Oh, here it is. Officials had to extradite this woman refusing to quarantine from a third floor house in Saigon, which is one of the hard hitting areas that are impacted by this. I would recommend you go to VN Express, and you can see this lady getting like, they had to rent a truck with a thing to take it up to her window on her third floor, and then they eventually had to break her door down and drag her into quarantine. That's how much she didn't want to do it. So yeah, that these are big changes compared to like the first and second wave thing. Last one. Saigon restaurant fined for violating COVID prevention rules. I think 93. They did 1,000, and 93 were found breaking the rules, and I think 3 or 4 of them had already done it 2 or 3 times. So they're considering just revoking their business there and taking their license away altogether. So as ever, I'll keep you guys updated. You're completely up to date on Saigon, Vietnam CCP virus news as of Thursday night I'm shooting this at 11 p.m. So I don't know when you'll see this, but you're completely caught up to date. If you want, the most reliable news source for me is VN Express. You'll be able to find that on your own. And then let me spell the other one out for you. Winnie says it weird. The youth newspaper is what it means in Vietnamese. The weird glow on my face is from my laptop. Hold on, let me read you the website. So the other one that I like is TUOITRE news.vn. That's the English one, and then they have a Vietnamese one. The Vietnamese one, same with VN Express. They're both, the Vietnamese ones are about 3 to 4 hours ahead of the English ones because they have to translate it all. So if you want to read this stuff for yourself, those are the places you can go to check it out. Again, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll keep you updated. I still have a few more videos that I went out and shot. Hopefully I'll be able to continue to go out and shoot some things and be smart and shoot where really no one's around. Of course, it's going to be walking stuff. And then if they ask us to really, really stay home and work, we're going to have to figure out content from at home, movie reviews, things like this. We'll make it happen. We'll make it work. There's a long 1.5 hour Patreon podcast up if you want to join the Patreon for as little as $1 a month. Also the Discord server, there's a lot of active chatting in there. Every day we're chatting. So if you really want to connect with the channel more, you can join the Discord. It's like a chat program essentially. Loads up right on your phone. So check that link in the description and sign up if you want to talk to me and a lot of the channel supporters and my financial backers. That's a total joke. In the Discord. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Peace out.